Bridges are interesting things. They never quite belong to one side or the other. Instead, they stand in the middle, connecting two places that may have otherwise never met. For a large chunk of my life, that's exactly where I've been, the middle, the bridge between two languages, two cultures, and two ways of life. People often think that when someone is in the middle, they're lost, or they're stuck, or they don't know what they're doing with their life. In reality, it's a whole different experience. Being in the middle allows you to see things that other people who have lived their entire lives completely on one side or the other might miss. This allows for understanding and perspective pretty much unattainable to those who've always taken one side. Now, tonight, I'm here to show you why the middle is the most powerful side you can pick. You might ask, why should I listen to her? She's just some random 16-year-old with a mic on stage. But I lived in Chennai for a really long time, most of my childhood, actually. The bustling roads and the memorable beaches came with a language and culture that were so familiar to me. It was all I knew for a really long time. Then my family decided to pack up and move here to Montreal. The abysmal lack of beaches and the new language and culture came with this unfamiliar feeling. But as I got through it, I learned how to translate between two different cultures, two different languages. It taught me a lot. Now, obviously, the shift in continents was a big change, but the jet lag, the new climate, the new language were expected, anticipated even. But the hardest things for me personally were the smaller things, the things that no one would have expected. But let me give you an example. For explaining why my parents didn't believe in grades lower than a 90 was a struggle. Explaining the concept of a vegetarian to some people here was a struggle and a half. And trust me when I say this, pigs will fly before some of my relatives back home understand the concept of seja. But it's not all bad. Learning how to translate between the cultures, like I was talking, it helped me realize that there's so much more to life. You get so much more perspective when there's two cultures that you can take from. இதனை உணர்ந்தது எனக்கு ஒரு பெரிய சக்தியை கொடுத்தது. நான் 3 மொழிகளையும் சரளமாக பேசுவேன். என் அப்பா அம்மாவுடன் தமிழ், என் சென்னையில் இருக்கும் தோழிகளுடன் தங்கிலீஷ், மற்றும் என் மொன்ட்ரியால் நண்பிகளுடன் இங்கிலீஷ் மற்றும் சில நேரம் பிரெஞ்சு. இப்படி பேசுவது கூட்டத்திலும் ரகசியம் பேச அனுமதிக்கும் மற்றும் 3 மொழிகளிலும் ஜோக்குகள் சொல்லவிடும். மற்றோர் நினைத்து கூட பார்க்க முடியாத தொடர்புகளை உருவாக்கிக் கொள்ள எனக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைத்திருக்கிறது. After spending all this time in the in-between zone, you start to notice things people tend to miss. For example, the culture surrounding respect for other people in India is something I value a lot. On the other hand, choosing your own path in life, that could be picking an unconventional major or dating out of your culture, is something that's better received here. Both have upsides and downsides, and by being immersed in both cultures, I get to pick and choose which parts of which culture I carry forth with me. A luxury, unfortunately, not that many people have. But knowing that I get to choose, knowing that there are options, and carrying forth with me only what I choose to and not what I was handed is honestly freeing. It feels great. And in the process, I get to blend cultures and perspectives and ideas to carve out a life that better reflects me as an individual. Now, I know I've spoken for a while, but if there's one thing you can take from me tonight, let it be this. The world is full of people arguing and fighting over potentially insignificant sides. But the real growth and the real change happens when someone is willing to stand in the middle and bridge that gap. So, if and when you find yourself between perspectives, ideas, lifestyles, don't see it as a burden or a weakness. See it for what it really is. A chance to understand, a chance to connect, and a chance to see what the world truly has to offer. Be that bridge. Nandri.